Who's coaching these dudes? Welcome back to the Defending Football Show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Today we're doing something pretty fun, and that's going over who I'm predicting to be the 2026 UFL head coaches for every team in the UFL. I kept this one pretty based in reality, so I didn't do anything super crazy, but I want to know what you guys think down below. So let me know after you see this what you agree with and disagree with. Starting with the Birmingham Stallions. Skip Holtz, this guy is not going anywhere. He's obviously been the Birmingham Stallions head coach since 2022. He's now had 2 years in the USFL and 2 years in the UFL. But we're looking at his UFL record. It is 16-4 over 2 seasons. I mean, what more can you ask for? That is a fantastic record. He has 4 times as many wins as he does losses. Absolutely insane. Not to mention 2 UFL playoff wins and a UFL championship. Now let's not forget he also had 2 USFL championships. So he really got 3 in a row. Now if we're talking UFL, it's technically only 1. And I like to think this league has a better talent pool because the XFL and USFL merged together. But still, winning 1 UFL championship is plenty good when there's only been 2. One of, if not the best, spring football coach right now. Obviously this year his team didn't perform as well, but he was dealing with extreme quarterback injuries. I mean, we're talking down to his 4th and 5th string guys. So Skip Holtz, you are staying in Birmingham, baby. Next up is the biggest surprise of the 2025 UFL season, Shannon Harris. Thank you, Shannon Harris. Now, Shannon stepped in 6 days before the start of the season last year, so he only has 1 season under his belt, but he went 6 wins to 4 losses. Keep in mind that 2 of their losses, we didn't really start our starting quarterback, but never mind that, he also has 2 UFL playoff wins this year, and he won the UFL championship convincingly, I might add, scoring 58 points in that championship game, by the way. Absolute stud, and he was the interim head coach. He wasn't even the official head coach. He has now been signed as the head coach of the DC Defenders, so obviously I think, and I believe, he should be the DC Defenders head coach until proven otherwise. Shannon Harris is the man and my favorite head coach of all time. He's staying in DC because the terror must be maintained. Next up is the St. Louis Battlehawks. We're going to stick with Anthony Becht. I know a lot of Battlehawks fans have a lot of anger towards Anthony Becht because he has not won a championship yet. He's technically played 3 seasons, but one of those was in the XFL. But his UFL record is 15-5. If you're just looking at UFL records here, he's the upper echelon. He's right under Skip Holtz. He has 2 UFL playoff appearances. The problem is he has never won one of those games. He also missed out when he was in the XFL on the playoffs. Because of a tiebreaker, they couldn't beat the team they needed to beat to make it in. He has this weird stigma around him where a lot of fans don't think that he can get it done. Now things could always change. It's only been 3 years. But Battlehawks fans definitely do have a love-hate when it comes to Anthony Becht. A lot of fans think that he drove AJ McCarron out of the building, which I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Do I think they should have kept him? Yeah, absolutely. But he still went 8-2 this year with Max Duggan and Manny Wilkins. So you gotta give him some credit there. We'll see what he does going forward, but he is gonna be the Battlehawks head coach for pretty much as long as he's winning. We're hopping over to the Louisville Kings. Welcome to the league, Louisville. Now, what I think should happen is I think the Michigan Panthers should move to Louisville. Real quick before I get into Mike Nolan, the Panthers were the biggest rival to the Stallions in the UFL. You're going to make them the second horse team. Not to mention they signed Matt Corral, who was the Birmingham Stallions quarterback last year. You got to do it. You have these teams play each other twice a year, and at least one of them has to be in Louisville. Horse versus horse game. You got to do it. Come on. Rapoli, I know you're listening. You got to do this. Mike Nolan has shown he can win in the UFL. 13 wins to 7 losses. Very good record once again. Obviously played 2 years in the UFL. He also had a USFL stint as well. He's got 1 UFL playoff win. And that came this year against the Stallions, building that rivalry again. And he has 1 UFL championship appearance. Obviously versus the Defenders this year, and we know what happened. But I do have to give him credit. He made the championship game, got over the hump of the Birmingham Stallions, who everyone said could not be done. I think you have to keep Mike Nolan in the league, man. Keep him with his team and move him to Louisville. I heard Louisville is doing pretty well in ticket sales, so if they have a great team, it's only going to boost it, baby. I got to see this horse rivalry. It's got to happen. Mike Rapoli, do it. Moving on to Dallas, the Dallas Renegades. Man, that bandit logo is so cool, man. Thank you for bringing that back. I think every time I bring up the Renegades, I'm going to say that. Bob Stoops, he's been the guy for the Renegades for 3 years now. Not to mention, he was also the head coach in the XFL 2020. So Bob Stoops has pretty much been the only coach the Renegades have ever had. The question is, why? His UFL record is 8-12. Not to mention, he has never had a winning season as the Dallas Renegades head coach, never made a UFL playoff, but in the XFL 3 years ago, he won a playoff game and then won the XFL championship against my Defenders, unfortunately. But he still only made the playoffs at 4-6 after getting Luis Perez. And under the UFL rules right now for playoffs, if that was in effect back then, he's not making the playoffs. The Battlehawks are making it over him. So Bob Stoops, this is a weird one where he is a big name, but the results have not really followed. They haven't really been able to close out games under his tenure. I'm going to give him one more year as the Dallas Renegades head coach, but if he has another losing season, you got to look around and say, can we find a guy that can actually win us some more games here? But still, Bob Stoops, great guy, glad he loves spring football, and I think he's sticking around this year. The Houston Gamblers. Here we go. It is your guy, Curtis Johnson. Man, oh man. Man, Curtis Johnson is absolutely hilarious. For this video, I was really thinking about putting Wade Phillips as the new Houston Gamblers head coach. I think that would definitely be a better fit. But unfortunately, I think Wade Phillips last year, he had a lot of health complications. He's just getting up there in age. Obviously a legend in football. So if you put him on the Gamblers, fans are showing up for that. He's going to instill a lot of confidence, and trust me, his defense will be killer. But I think maybe a team ambassador role is better for him right now with his age. So I'm keeping CJ Johnson, baby. He's got 16 wins and 14 losses in the UFL in 2 years. He also coached the Houston Gamblers 2 years prior in the USFL, and they didn't particularly do crazy well. Never had a UFL playoff appearance, but I do have to give him the caveat. He improved his team from 1-9 his first season in the UFL to 500 at 5-5. A lot of that is because they stumbled upon Jalen McClendon, who DC graciously gave to them, at which if you look back on it, I've been praising that guy for a while now. I knew he had something when he was with the Vipers in the XFL, and he just re-signed as the Gamblers quarterback, so I really hope he does well this year. But Curtis Johnson, I mean, this might be the last rodeo if he cannot get a true winning season. I think he has to at least go 7-3 or his job is at risk. Especially with how crazy the sidelines are sometimes with him yelling at random people, yelling at dudes that weren't even in the game. But I will say he is peak entertainment, so mic that guy up. But we're giving him another chance. It's the league of opportunity. Give it to him, the Houston Gamblers this year. Run it back, CJ Johnson. Welcome Orlando to the UFL, the Orlando Storm. Who is that? Is that John Gruden? Yes, it is. We're bringing John Gruden to the UFL. Something's brewing there. I want it to happen, and I need to speak it into existence. Mike Rapoli, make it happen. This guy wants to be a head coach. This is his perfect chance to be a head coach when no one in the NFL will give him a chance. College can be complicated with NIL money now. Come on, Gruden. Come to the UFL, baby. It's going to have you feeling nicey, I promise. John Gruden has 5 NFL playoff wins and a Super Bowl victory. I mean, you really can't say any more than that. He's won the Super Bowl. He has that pedigree. He knows how to win. He knows how to build a team. Obviously, one that can win a championship. You want this guy in your league immediately. Orlando will sell out if he's the head coach. All right, maybe not, but they're going to sell a lot of tickets. John Gruden to the Orlando Storm. Mark it and book it right now. And last but not least, you have the Columbus Aviators. I think this should be the Memphis Showboats moving to Columbus, and you already got the head coach in the building. Give it to him. Jaron Horton. Some people are like, who is Jaron Horton? Well, he was only the top defensive coordinator in the USFL, turning around a 1-9 Maulers team to making a championship, almost beating the Birmingham Stallions, by the way. He also vastly improved the defense of the Showboats in the UFL this year. This guy loves the UFL, constantly talking and praising it, and I think it's time to give him a chance. He will be a first-time head coach with a ton of potential. As we saw with Shannon Harris, sometimes the unexpected candidate can make a huge difference. I'm not saying he's going to win a championship like Shannon, but man, I really think he can turn the ship around. That's a good showboat reference right there. And make the Columbus Aviators a very intimidating team to play. Let me know what you guys think down below. Who's staying, who's leaving, and who are you adding? So I'm going to get out of here. And for the love of football, defend football, baby!